What's up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to the Hood Astro Queen. To all of my returning subscribers, but if this is your first time joining me on today, be sure to hit that subscribe button because you know you want to. So today I am doing one of 3 free readings. 2 of those 3 are very high priority on my to-do list because these young women expressed a lot of urgency surrounding it. So yeah, like I said, my apologies. I'm just now getting into the saddle of things. I've had some private things going on that made shit just hectic. So just, thank you for riding out with me. So with that being said, let's go ahead and proceed with your reading. So, this young lady, she didn't specify whether she would like her identity disclosed. So we'll call her M. Okay. So Miss M writes to me and she says, "Hey, Megan, I was reaching out to see if you could help me. I just lost my job. I am so stressed. I'm a singer and recently signed management deal, but everything in the music industry has seemed so secretive and hidden. I don't know who to trust. My future feels so uncertain and I'm feeling unmotivated to keep going a lot of days. I also have a 16th essence coming up in my chart in 2022, and I fear of what this will bring." So, Miss M, you were born on August 10th, 1993 at 3:39 p.m. in Washington, D.C., which makes you a Leo sun, Taurus moon, Sagittarius rising, okay? So, a couple of things that I see. As it pertains to your recent loss of a job, I do see a lot of things in your chart, a couple things that do point towards that or that could explain that. So one of those things being the fact that your Mars is at the 29th degree of Virgo and it's in your 10th house cusp conjoined to your midheaven, okay? And our midheaven in the 10th house also deals with your reputation, okay? It deals with your career. It deals with longevity. Virgo is the natural ruler of the 6th house, which deals with work as well, but more so like short-term labor, everyday labor, get up and go. Your 10th house and midheaven are more so how your short-term job duties kind of play out over time. But even still, Mars doesn't like to be in Virgo, and it could create a very unstable working situation. It could create a situation where you feel very like you get the short end of the stick. All right, you might feel unappreciated, not valued in your places of employment. That could be a thing. But I also noticed you say that you feel like you don't have much motivation. That could also be partially impacted by your Mars at the 29th degree, because Mars is a planet that is all about our passion. It's about our drive, okay? And just this placement or its placement in your 10th house, reflects that you are naturally, you value, like, this matters to you, okay? Your career, your long-term situation, financial situation, where you fit in the world, where you fit in society, your job status. You're also a Taurus moon with your moon in the 6th house. So it's like it's important to you, and it could actually even have an effect on your mental health or just your overall health. So first off, I would advise you to just, I know it's easier said than done, girl. I've been fired before. I think it's happened to the best of us. And Taurus does not like change either. So it's very much like, I know it could be kind of traumatizing adjusting to a new or a very abrupt, unexpected situation. But taking some time to take care of your mental health is very important. Whatever that looks like to you, I can't tell you how to do that. But I would advise you to do so. Okay. That's first off. And second off, taking it back to your Mars being at the 29th degree, you could potentially go through periods where, because that 29th degree or Mars in the 29th degree produces a lot of high pressure, highly stressful situations. And you could have a change of fortune in the matter of minutes, like lifetime changes. So there could be points where you're just severely just like non-motivated, you don't care, or you've lost your zest for life and whatever just that quickly. You can become driven, you can be inspired by something. You can land another job. You're naturally a hard worker, but your will definitely is going to fluctuate over time. And a lot of it does have to do with you needing a certain level of freedom in order to thrive and feel secure within yourself. It might not be comfortable for you initially, but it's something that you're going to need. So that brings me to the second concern in your letter, which was the fact that you just signed a record deal and you don't know who to trust. You're kind of apprehensive about it. You got some questions. You have some doubts there, and you have every reason to, because with your sun conjoined to your Chiron and your ninth house of Leo, it does deal with you most likely running into some very shady things about the music industry. Leo does deal with the celebrity. It deals with the entertainment realm. This is reinforced with your sun at the 18th degree, because that number 18 can be very, very challenging in the respect that it could produce a person who is surrounded by very flawed individuals, right? Toxic individuals, or they could be that person themselves. Can carry a strong element of materialism, hypersexuality. But in your case, I think it's more so what you're going to be surrounded by, dealing with these types of people, especially pursuing a career in the celebrity world or the entertainment business in general. This is also indicative of somebody who is going to have a particularly hard time with men. And could be like, honestly, you could even meet a potential husband or a dating, prospect in your line of work, like, somebody who is involved in music, in the music industry, but they're going to have ulterior motives. It's going to be something about the relationship or their character that's not right, that's dysfunctional, that's kind of shady. There's also going to be a lot of issues as far as you dealing with the politics of the business. That ninth house does deal with politics. Okay, that's it all day long. There also may be an issue with naivety on your part. So be mindful of that, because that Leo energy could be like extremely naive. And that's due to Leo being very childlike in nature. And, prone to easy flattery. So be mindful of that. And I think you kind of got the right thing in mind, because you're already questioning, like, okay, well, I don't know who to trust. I don't want to say nobody, but you definitely use your discernment, because you have a tendency not to. Also, there could be an underlying issue with self-confidence. Our sun is our ego. It's our inevitable sense of self. It's what wakes us up in the morning. Sun conjoined to Chiron, especially in Leo. Okay, the sun is dignified in Leo. So the sun naturally governs Leo, which is supposed to bring this extra level of like robustness and even confidence to your just persona, your identity. But with your Chiron here, this could definitely cause you to be subject to, maybe there was something that happened early in life that weakened your identity, your self-esteem, a huge blow to your self-confidence, which could cause a lot of major blind spots. So be mindful of that, which leads me to your lunar nodal placement. Okay, you are a Gemini South Node in the 7th house and a Sagittarius North Node, okay, because you are a Sag ascendant. So this automatically puts a lot of things into perspective about your situation, as it could produce somebody who is basically your karmic responsibility in this lifetime is to develop your own sense of self, to develop your own sense of identity. All right. That South Node in Gemini, especially in the seventh house, can produce somebody who overly relies or overly identifies themselves through other people. This could be friends, but it can even bring about business partners that are that could be kind of shady, could be kind of flighty in nature. So you learning not to put so much responsibility onto other people, or so much emphasis in looking outward for other people, because once you embrace or activate that Sagittarius north, I would even argue that you're not even supposed to, like, I don't know how contracts, like your music deal works, the details of that. I would even argue that might not be a good idea. The seventh house does deal with contracts. And there's always going to be kind of like a duplicit nature with Gemini, which could cause for things. I mean, there could be hidden motives, or, over time you could find yourself in a situation where you feel trapped by it, where you feel like, it's hindering you more than it's helping you. And Sagittarius is all about like freedom, a sense of freedom, more so than Aquarius. It's more so like free will, you being able to live your truth. You know what I mean? And that can only come with a true sense of self-introspection and really learning yourself, learning who you are independent of other people. That has to happen, because I feel like a lot of things, not to say like the music industry is not for you, but dealing with the music industry is going to be that much harder if you don't learn how to like tackle that and kind of get that in check. And it could be possible that you stick out like a sore thumb, when it comes to people, when it comes to your industry. Maybe you're writing. I don't know if you write your own music, but you have Saturn and Aquarius in your third house, and it could definitely cause some creative differences that you might even see as far as the people or the record company you just signed to. It could also create a situation to where perhaps success might not come until a little later on. Like, you have to put in a lot of work in order to make the type of progress you want to see in your music career. Yeah, especially with your moon squaring your Saturn, there could be some delays in that respect. But that don't mean, don't do it. I would just say you might even be better off as an independent artist, to be real with you. Because, we live in 2019. Like, there's literally no reason for record labels. There's a lot of people out here really getting it out the mud, really doing it independently. So if the music route is what you still choose to take, especially with Uranus conjoined to Neptune in the second house, this could create somebody who brings in money in a very unconventional kind of way, or in a way that's going to allow them to retain a lot of their self-will. Especially with the Uranus there, you're going to have to be kind of innovative in the way that you go about achieving these goals, making them work for yourself in an independent kind of way. So there's that. Also, your sun is squaring your Pluto, which kind of reinforces this theme of like you possibly being susceptible to like kind of, well, I'm going to say powerful people, but people who could make or break your career, make or break your identity. Strong people in the entertainment business, but they might also, have ulterior motives and be very much nefarious in the way that they go about dealings and things like that. So that's something else too. And you could actually be under their control. or indebted to. So be mindful of that. And I know you just signed a contract, but like I said, I don't know how that works. I don't know the details of your contract, but be very careful of that, being indebted to, because I mean, Pluto is the sign of debt, or it's the planet of debts, and your Pluto is in your 12th house of losses at the 22nd degree, and that 22 deals with situations where you're either going to be the one in the control seat or you're going to be controlled by someone else. So that's just, that's just that. So as far as you losing your job, I'm pretty sure you'll come across another one. Like I said, that Mars at the 29th degree is definitely gonna test how much you really want the things that you say you want long term. Okay. So it's doable. And I know support and stability is very important to you. So I know it's easier said than done, but it's doable. I feel like you'll come across something else. You'll be fine in that respect. But as far as the music industry is concerned, I do see red flags, but I would caution you to spend more time investing in yourself, developing yourself as a person, and stay away from like risky or risk opportunities or games of chance. Even be very mindful when it comes to contracts that you're going to sign moving forward. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful to you. It resonated. If you have any further questions, let me know. Drop down in the comment section below, you guys. And as always, make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until next time, I'll holla.